Now, since I'm mage player, or at least I wanna be mage player, since yeah, my heroes still need leveling. I wanna talk about the artifacts and especially about one artifact, and this is Tear of Arbor. This thing here, Tears of Arbon. Maybe this is a guy, I don't know. This just couple words about this artifact for the people who is not familiar or don't have it already. It's healing light wounded units once every 2 seconds to 4 friendly. I think this actually depends which level is this, but no, it's not actually. It's depending how much going to be the healing factor here. It can go to 800. So this artifact is for mages, and I want to point some of my tests I make in the real combat scenario where I fight with my mages and how the things actually go. Now, first I have to mention which mages we have in Call of Dragons. Now we have Lilia, we have Bertrand, we have Velen, we have Toher. All these mages are already leveled up. We have Waudir, we have Elwin, and we have Atius. Now, Atius I mostly use for the speed to get my stones, mana stones. But back in the days, he was very good hero as support hero just because of this spell here. A of Insight, 30% chance to get 60 rage. Decent spell, by the way. You fire up like insane. But anyway, back to the artifact. What I notice when I fight. Now there is many other mage artifacts. I have Phoenix Eye. This is something that you can get from the gold keys. It's still level 4, need one more level, and this is a juicy level, by the way. It can go to 4000 skill damage factor and hit 4 targets. Very, very good artifact. It's available from the artifact keys, basically free to play player friendly. Now the other one is this one, Mirage Orb. This is one of the new artifacts presented with the Toher and Bertrand. Very good one. Also, it starts from 3000. We have to mention that. From 3000 damage factor on the target and the 2 nearly targets. If there is any, going to get 1000 extra damage factor. Every time you're blah blah blah, the hero skill, they do 7% more artifact skill damage, up to 21%, and some more stuffs. Here is just with the upgrading this artifact, the skill damage, and artifact skill damage is going to increase. So I have 2 good mage artifacts in my opinion, even though that this is level 1. I get it from the artifact material, artifact throwback, where you make 100 artifact draws and you're able to pick one artifact. I think that was one of the best events, by the way. You can pick what you like and not gambling or waiting. Is we going to have this artifact in light, Forge of Light or something like this? And even if you have this artifact, you have to draw 2 legendary artifacts before is going to be 100% to get the specific artifact you put in your wish. I think it was something like this. I'm not a huge fan of the artifacts events, but I have to start B, since at some point you're going to have your heroes, you're going to have your troops, especially when you open tier 5. Mostly your focus is going to be over the heroes to be ascended and your artifacts, since you already have tier 5. So at some point it's going to be, even when you ascend your heroes, it's going to be just artifacts and troops. The main, by troops I mean training troops. So back to this artifact. I run 3 legion. That was Lilia Thea. Maybe I'm going to show you. First legion was Lilia on the skill talent tree in combination as a deputy Thea. Now for Lilia from talent skill, just to mention that, I go here from a critical hero skill, critical damage bonus, not for the synergy, since if I run Lilia Thea, Thea is going to give this synergy and is going to give me 15% more damage of my spell. If I run Lilia Velen, Velen is having 10% critical, so with the focus from 10% is going to become 20%, and I prefer to have some extra critical damage here. But anyway, yeah. Lilia with Thea, Bertrand Tocher, and Waudir in combination with Velen. That was the 3 legions I was running. Don't look over this artifact. This is some jokes I make, but yeah. So I have 2 good mage artifacts. Again, this is Phoenix Eye and Mirage Orb. And I try to use the third one, which is Tear of Arbon. I level up is like 6-star this artifact. Everything is leveled up, damage taken, damage do, blah 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 blah. And something I notice is I don't do that much damage with my legions. If I run single Lilia Velen, Bertrand Toher, I do way more merits per legion, and when I say way more, I mean 2 times. If I do my 3 legions, I get around 40-50k merits per legion before I send them in hospital. If I run 2 legions, I I get like 80-90k per legion. So I start questioning myself. Oh, okay, why why this is happening? I mean, this is pretty decent difference. It's like 2 times more merits per legion. And if you're a player who don't have that many troops, in my case, I actually have some troops. I have 944k mages. But you start value your troops the moment there is going to be long fights, the moment the enemy is very strong, and yeah, if you put your troops in the hospital, tomorrow you're not going to fight. The enemy is going to push you out. When they do the pushing, you're not going to be able to help your teammates. The teammates is going to also fill their hospitals. At some point, there's not going to be enough people with legions to fight. So I start thinking, okay, why this is happening? Why I put in hospital way more troops from the merits I am getting? And I check the artifacts, and of course, Tear of Arbon is giving magic defense and legion defense. Now I think this is very good if you're tier 4 player, since this is going to increase the survivability of your legion, and you're going to be more tanky. Your mage legion is going to be more tanky, and you're going to survive. And by surviving more time, your heroes is going to cast their rage skill more times. You're going to do more damage. But if you're tier 5, this is my personal opinion, I think those artifacts is way better. I mean, Phoenix Eye getting 40% extra magic unit attack, legion attack, and this is absolutely the same. The only exception is when you level up your artifact. I think here the damage taken, damage do is increasing. Here is just level 1, so it's minus 1.5%, plus 1.5%. My main point is I split my legions, hoping that with more mages, more legions, even though that Lilia Velen definitely is better from Lilia Thea. Also, Lilia Velen is better from Waudir Velen, especially when your Velen is not awakened. My Velen is not awakened. It still needs two more skills to actually get this juice extra 400 skill damage factor, which is insane. And of course, Waudir is providing with this freeze damage due to the legions and inflict Gwom and freeze, and this is what actually Velen needs to get some extra damage over the target. But since my Velen is not awakened, and I don't think to awake him, well, I really don't know. I don't go for heroes that is in the gold keys, because at some point those heroes is going to be awakened. So I save my daily chest to get a hero that, if I don't go for gold chest or heads, I'm not going to awake this hero. So yeah, the artifact is good, but in same time it's not something that I want to use. And the reason is simple. It's just my legions are doing less damage, and as a tier 5 player, I mean mage tier 5, I basically have like two troops awakened. You want to put more damage to these bad boys here. You just want to put more damage. You don't care that much for the defense, since your heroes is a range one. It's not infantry, it's not a cavalry, it's range one. So you better hit more hard. And this is something that I see with people going for a single troop. They somehow manage to combine the heroes, especially if you're in this season. I mean, season SOB2. You're going to have many heroes. And not that many, but you're going to have more heroes from season 1 or season 1 plus. And you can build many legions. Sindri and Frygar. You can go so Margaret with Zeta. You have Kinara with Nico. You know, all these legions you can actually build need artifacts. And if you don't have good artifacts, well, things are not looking good. Right now, for the marksman, I have Shadow Blades, and this is the only marksman artifact I have. Maybe this one, okay. Heart of Kamatsu, but is again marksman unit defense, legion defense. If you're tier 5, you don't care about the defense. And yeah, when you trigger this artifact, you're going to get physical attack bonuses and boost. But in general, the main status is something that you don't want. So in my case, I cannot go for for marksmen, since I just have one artifact. For mages, I have two. And this tier of Arbon is not that helpful. It is bringing some healing, but the Legion, where is your tier 5 mages having more defense, going to increase the survivability, but in the same time is going to lower the damage by a lot. And you want to hit as hard as you can in the fights. So about this artifact, if you have, there is one more artifact, by the way. Just I have to see where the artifacts were as. There's one mage artifact that look like Sun. Forgot his name, to be honest. Details. Oh, I forgot the name. I really don't know where this thing is. Oh, maybe I can go for details. That thing here? No. Codex. Where is artifacts? Yeah, this all the artifacts I don't have. Yeah, this one. Since I don't have it. This one is also good mage artifact. That is going to bring some damage to your legion. But and this one is a very good one, by the way. These two, but yeah, tier of Arbon is something that I don't think to go for. And I get question about from the people from the rewards at the end of the season, since most likely people are already have their Shadow Blades, since from this chest here, I think the Shadow Blades is the best artifact you can get from there. But if you already level up your Shadow Blades, like in my case, I strongly suggest people go for the Cavalry artifact, which is this one, Sorwan's Blade. Mine is still, he's level 1? What? He's actually level 1. Yeah, people go for these legendary artifacts after the Shadow Blade. I think the best deal here there is the Shadow Blades, and after this is the Cavalry one. Since I have this one level 5, I don't know how I get it to level 5, but infantry is a tank unit. You don't need to put Legion attack and blah blah blah. The other one was the Cavalry one and Tier of Airborne. I don't think a tier of Arbon is something that people should go for. And even though that I want to run 3 legions, I prefer all these 3 legions to have an artifact giving some attack. Now the other pick is of course Magic Bomb. Um, it's an epic artifact giving also good magic attack and legion attack, but it's way less from the Phoenix Eye and Mirage Orb, which is absolutely normal. Also, the damage this thing is doing is also way less. Damage factor 1800. having some timer so the person can go out of the legions and blah blah blah. Not huge fan. Definitely I'm not huge fan. So yeah. Well, if I want to run 3 legions, I prefer to run just 2 legions, which is Lilia Velen and Bertrand Tocher with the artifacts they have. And I prefer to not go for Tier of Arbon. It's just not worth it. Since, yeah, the merits, I don't have the reports here, but the merits is way more different. So yeah, I guess this will be for this video. Let me know your personal opinion about Tier of Arbon. Do you use it? Everybody's going to be happy to have extra healing, but how your legion that use Tier of Arbon perform on the battlefield and in general. So I guess this will be for this video, guys. Like, subscribe. See you in the next one.